we are now accepting video questions and answers, which we love. And we're going to get to one in a moment regarding what women like to eat on dates.
It's a great question.
We have this one ready? All right.
So, Phil, what would attract you more on a first date? If I just ordered a salad or if I ate more than you?
She had me at so Phil. I gotta be honest with you.
She was asking
I was
you
attracted
out.
at so Phil.
Yes.
So, all right. So that question is perfect, and that for me, because I like to eat. So that bowls right down my alley. I'm gonna take it, and then I'll get your.
All right,
feedback.
go for it.
So, first of all, ideally, what I like is a woman who will order a lot, or not be afraid to order, not be afraid to share things, appetizers or whatever. And what I always root for is that she doesn't quite finish. And it's not because I'm worried about her weight or how much she eats. It's more because I probably am still hungry and want to finish it off. So that is my ideal. Somebody that orders a lot, but has a little bit leftovers that I can kind of finish off. And I'm not afraid to do that on a first date.
Good.
I don't know if that's a faux pas, but
No.
if you're not done, I'll eat it. I don't mind. But if I had to pick one of the two, eat more than me. That would really do it for me. So that's what I would say, Mallory. Those are my two answers. Screw the salad.
Oh,
Have a
yeah.
salad at home.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. And there's actually a study done, and men rate women who order steak as the sexiest thing they can order for dinner.
Right.
Something about, something hearty and rich. So definitely skip the salad, go for dessert, and share.
Yes.
Have to share.
Yes. If somebody doesn't share, undateable.
Undateable.
And if somebody doesn't like share, undateable.
Terrible.
I'm talking about, do you believe in that? So don't date somebody who doesn't like share. Okay, next one about the
I
holidays.
just started dating a girl and I'd like to take her home for the holidays, and she says no. How should I handle that?
That's a really good question, and that is not something that I had ever thought of. Did you hear it?
Yes.
Okay. Thoughts? I mean, I've thoughts on this, but that's a really good question.
I wish there was more background information. How long have you been dating someone? I mean, if you just started dating someone and you invite them home for Christmas, that might just be too much for someone.
Right.
And but if you've been dating for a very, very long time and you want to introduce them to their family and they say no, then you need to have a serious conversation about what your future looks like, because if
Right.
they don't want to meet your family and your friends and see your hometown, then that might be a bigger warning sign.
Well, he said just started, so we'll
if you
assume
just
it hasn't
start-
been that long.
I think that's okay. I think some people get really nervous about meeting a family too soon. I would just ask, tell them that it's okay, that you don't want to make them uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe extend a further along visit down
Right.
the road.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all that she said no. I mean, I can see how it could be seen that way, but it can also be seen that maybe she wants to just take things slow.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with, waiting a little while before you take that step of meeting the family. So I don't think it would be seen as a bad thing. I mean, it could be a sign that
Right.
she's less interested than he is, but it could also be a sign that she's just being a little bit responsible when it comes to where the relationship could go. And maybe she doesn't want it to move too quickly, too soon. But a big step to ask somebody who just started dating. So obviously he likes her.
Right.
And hopefully, that she likes him as well, and she's just sort of just being cautious, which
Right.
I think there's nothing wrong with that, and I've done that before. So I wouldn't look into it at all at this point, and almost feel comfortable that at least she's, that maybe she's just being responsible and taking things slow.
And some people have different values around how involved their families are in their dating life. I know
Yeah.
people who do not bring their boyfriends or girlfriends home until they're going to get engaged.
Right.
I mean, and some people say, oh, meet my mom tomorrow. We've only been dating a month, and it's
Right.
no big deal. So I think that just knowing where they're coming from would be
Right.
helpful.
See, I have a thing where I can't let a girl I'm dating meet Bailey, because as soon as she does, she totally falls in love.
Well, I have.
And exactly.
Clearly.
And then she doesn't leave me alone. So,
Yeah.
because since I brought him in, you've been at my house stalking me.
Yes.
Okay, so here's another question and answer. If you asked out a chick and she gave you a business card instead of a home number, would you think anything of it? Let's see what our responses said, and then we'll give you our opinion.
So, Tim, if you asked a girl out and she gave you her business card instead of her home number, would you think anything of it?
I'd have to say that I would just try and roll with it, although that would be a little bit intimidating, I believe. But yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing.
You're fine getting her work number?
Yeah, why not? I probably wouldn't call it at the office, though. That might be kind of random, so...
You can always send an email, maybe.
Shoot her an email. Yeah, you can shoot her an email. Yeah, definitely prefer a home number.
Go.
Business card is fine as long as it's got a phone number on it.
I would be a little wary of it.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would still follow through, but I would be kind of like, we both have our phones here. Why couldn't you just give me your cell?
Huh.
I think a couple of things, though. Does the business card have a personal cell?
Right.
If it's just a business cell, or if it's just a business, regular phone, I think that's
I've never thought about this because I guess I always carry around cards because I think that that's an easier way to just have something tangible so you don't lose it. But I guess that's a good point. If you really like someone, maybe you need to do the personal phone exchange.
Well, do you have your personal cell on your card?
They all link.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's fine.
it
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
it wouldn't deter me from anything, but I'd just be like, okay, we could have just exchanged
But
numbers
there's something
right here.
kind of sexy, like,
Here's my card?
Here's my card.
Well, when you do it that way, there's
so
definitely, yeah.
maybe it's the delivery.
I think it depends on what's on the card. I think it depends on what's on the card and how it's given. But it definitely wouldn't deter me from contacting somebody, even if it's just an email to send a feeler out of, if that's what's on the card,
Yeah, and I think if a woman really likes you and really wants you to call, she'll also write her other numbers
I-
or email. The more she's writing on the card, the more you need to call.
I agree. Unless it's do not
Please
call.
do not
Yeah,
call.
Exactly. Okay, and we had a video response to a question and answer from last week about a woman who dry heaved on the third date. Let's look at that.
All right, so Jim, if you went on a date with someone, a third date, and when you guys were driving home, she asked you to pull over so she could dry heave on the sidewalk, would you ask her out for a fourth date?
I would definitely ask her out for another date.
How come?
because That means that girl can party, and she's probably a keeper, and that's just me. Other people might disagree, but I would say yes.
All right, cool.
Who has that happen to them? Who has that happen to them where a woman
Dry heave.
heaves on a date? But apparently it would not bother that good-looking gentleman.
He's a good
Yeah,
man.
Exactly. All right. Again, please, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, any thoughts, you can you can read it yourself. That's how you get in touch with us. But the videos we love. I mean, that was
Great. That was so fun.
fantastic. So if you can do that on your phone and send it in, that's great. But if you'd rather email, if you'd rather tweet, we love being interactive. We're getting more interactive, and I think that is great.